Dismal backwater.
4 in the graveyard and 4 lands in hand, or in play rather. Dig through time's ready to go.
Yep. And where Jim has had a lot of his success on the Open Series is with these dig through time type decks, blue-white control mostly. We saw him play that earlier in Season 1 on a lot of our stops then. And now he's back to doing it again. And this really does feel like it's kind of home for him.
And this is such a good setup too, because if Zack does something big, Jim can Heroes downfall it and grow the Hangerback Walker. If Zack does nothing, cast dig through time.
Yep.
Great setup.
Windswept Teeth. He's going to search up something here. I'm going to go with the Forest. Here's 6 mana. Let's see what this is. That's an Elspeth. Is there an answer for that?
Easy downfall target.
Yep.
And Jim doesn't have to even do anything about the tokens right now because Hangerback Walker's got it on lockdown.
I'm stopping myself from making a hanging bat joke.
Such discipline.
I typically leave that to you. Jim's going to play Artificer's Epiphany right now and tick up. It's a Hangerback Walker into a 3/3. Jim does have a copy of Thought for Spy Network in hand now.
With Zack running low on resources here, you know, he's down to 2 cards in hand. I don't think Jim needs to rush to get the Spy Network in play. He can just hang back. He's got a Darksteel Citadel and a Hangerback Walker in play too, so he's got a lot of padding for it once he does decide to play it. And right now, just trade, cast your dig through time, hang back with the Hangerback Walker.
Way to work that in. Real smooth.
Listen, it's the names and flavor team did that on purpose because it just hangs back a lot. It's hangering back. Walker.
Jim is going to dig through time. He'll dump away some cards, of course, take a look at the top 7, take 2 along with them, and then charge up, the Hangerback Walker. I like the switch from black to white. White brings some good cards along with it, but here's Abzan Charm. No Thopters there. But black brings you Languish, it brings you Crux of Fate, it brings you Ashiok, it brings you Thoughtseize. There's some good black cards to be had. There is Ashiok. 3 cards can get turned over. Ashiok, a really good card against Canner's deck. We saw that last round too.
His deck is not fast, and it's got a lot of good creatures.
Evolving Wilds is the land. Jim not doing any crazy splashing this weekend. This is very reminiscent of his blue-white deck that he used to play during Season 1. Evolving Wilds just there for another card to put in the graveyard with dig through time. Ashiok going to be targeted by Hero's Downfall. Let's see if Jim's willing to let this go. Looks like he kind of wants to protect it with a Dissolve.
There's also an argument for just being generally mana efficient and get stuff in your graveyard when he has another dig through time in hand.
He's giving this a long thought.
I think I would not counter this.
Jim going to start by sacrificing the Evolving Wilds to get a land out of his deck.
If Jim's doing this now, I believe he's doing it because he wants to counter. Because he wants the Scry to not be shuffled away.
Yep. Searching for a basic island. And it looks like a Dissolve is on the way. Top card. Looks like it's staying on top. Ashiok down to 2 now. Thopter Spy Network is here. Jim does have a Darksteel Citadel among his lands. Ashiok will tick up to 4. This card very popular among the control players.
This card is very, very good.
Yeah. So the question was, could you, in a control deck, could you tap out or tap 4 mana for something like this and not get punished? It appears the answer is yes.
I don't know what the card's position is going to be long term, because I feel like a lot of this card's power is tied to Darksteel Citadel being available. But for the time being, it's very, very powerful, I think.
Here's a Doomwake Giant. That's going to get killed by Hero's Downfall. You saw Ashiok get knocked down to 1 from the Soldier tokens. The Spy Network will make a Thopter. Ashiok will tick up. Jim ever gets an activation from Ashiok to put a creature on the battlefield, it'll be very powerful. It's very, very good against Zack's deck. Maybe it's time for another Spy Network? Yes.
I mean, we're hitting the point now where Zack is not going to be able to kill Ashiok unless he's willing to use a removal spell on the Thopter this turn. And Zack just doesn't have enough resources to make those kind of trades at this stage of the game.
And I think if you're Jim and you see an opponent using a removal spell on your Thopter to kill your Ashiok, you're okay with that exchange.
Yeah, I mean, Jim's last card in hand is Dig Through Time.
Well, then you're definitely happy with that exchange. No question. There's 5 mana. There's Doomwake Giant. Now, this is a good way to get it done.
Yeah, this is good in this spot. Best of both worlds, get a throw on the table, get Ashiok off the table.
Mm-hmm. And Dig Through Time. And Jim will take a look at the top 7, of course, take 2 with him. I'm doing a quick check here to see if there's a Haven of the Spirit Dragon hanging out in his mana base. It does not appear there is for Jim. See if there's any way for him to get his Ugin back. Jim looks like he's happy with his selection from Dig Through Time. He'll untap. 2 Thopters on the way from the Spy Networks. And I'll draw a card. Thought sees the draw. Took away a Courser there.
Zack now empty-handed.
Yep. There's Artificer's Epiphany. Temple and Ashiok. There's Temple. Top card to the bottom.
Jim already prepared to dig again.
Doesn't take much. Temple playing the draw there for Canner. Doomwake coming in. Jim is such a high light total. I'm curious if he takes this or not. I think he'll just chump block.
I like blocking with 1. I'm a little surprised Zack didn't send in everything that turn, because now Jim gets to start attacking and drawing cards.
How highly can you value those tokens in this situation, I suppose? I mean, I can certainly see where he's coming from. I don't want to lose a token when I have a Doomwake Giant on the battlefield.
Yep.
But you don't know how long you're going to have that Doomwake for.
You don't know how long you're going to have the Doomwake for. And if Jim is blocking, that means he's not drawing cards next turn.
Also true.
It's not even just drawing a card, it's drawing 2.
Yeah, because 2 Spy Networks. One thing we never saw with Jeff is him have multiple Spy Networks in play.
Yep.
He always only had 1 last weekend in Chicago. There's Ashiok. That'll exile 3 cards. Now we hit back Canner's way. Hero's Downfall to draw. And go after Ashiok. I'll bite the dust. Jim taking a long look at his Clash of Wills. One thing Jim is really good at doing when he plays these blue control decks, though, is picking his spots with his counter magic.
Yeah. He knows at this point that he's going to run away with the game with Thopter Spy Network, and the only things that he wants to counter are cards that interfere with that plan.
There's a Swamp. Here come the beatdowns. 2 cards to draw. Again, able to draw multiple cards off of Thopter Spy Networks because there are 2 in play. It is not Bident of Thassa. If it were, he would be drawing 4. Follow-ups Hangerback Walker. It's a 2-2. And Jim has got a pretty stocked hand now. A lot of counter magic over there. Cantor going to try to play a Siege Rhino. Jim will Clash of Wills.
This is a safe Clash of Wills here. It's not a card that's getting much better, and Zack's empty-handed. So a good spot to do that. Save the Disdainful Stroke for something larger.
2 more Thopters. Dismal Backwater will bring Davis up to 18. Here come the beatdowns. Davis will draw 2. Dig through time among them. It's a bit of a runaway now. Courser of Grufix to draw. Be surprised if that one resolves too.
Well, this is either going to prompt a counter spell or a removal spell on Doomwave Giant.
Sure, either one's fine. There is Clash of Wills. There goes Courser. And now Dig.
As if Jim needed more cards.
Yeah. This is how you draw it up every time, though, if you're playing this sort of deck. He's been fluid all the way through. He's answered the questions that Zack has presented, and now he's pulling not just ahead, really far ahead.
And even later on in the game, he's found a way to tap out almost every turn.
Yep.
Very, very efficient with his mana.
Dismal Backwater will bring Davis up to 19. There's an attack for 6. Kenner going to go down to 2. I think Jim might have all spells in hand now. Going to take a look at Doomwave Giant just to make sure he knows how that works.
I think he forgot his triggers off the Spy Network, but doesn't even...
Oh, no, he got it.
Oh, he got it?
The card drawing, I think he missed.
Yeah, but who cares?
Yeah.
Yep.
At this point, he's so far ahead, it actually doesn't matter. And Jim Davis is going to win this game and match over Zack Cantor. 2-0. Blue Black Control will take care of Abzan, Constellation. And for Davis, he moves on to 5-2 here in Richmond.
Yeah, still hanging on. I think this is a deck that's still being figured out, but it does appear that just a couple Hangerback Walkers and Darksteel Citadel, those are enough artifacts to play with Thopter Spy Network.
Apparently.